Today we're drawing 50 autumn doodles. Hello my pinky pals, it's Alicia here, and today we're going to be doing some autumn doodles. My goal with this video and every video is to prove to you that you can draw because art is for everyone. So if you enjoy this video, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content. We are starting out strong with the sunflower. So what you want to do is the center of the flower, you're going to make it a little bit bumpy. So still in a circle, but it's going to be a little bumpy. This is because like the sunflower has such huge seeds that you kind of always see that texture. So it's really what sets it apart from a lot of other flowers. So you want to make sure you get that. The next thing you're going to do is a lot of petals. Now these can be long and thin like what I'm doing. They can also be kind of chubby. You can throw some lines in those. I was doing it, and I was doing it kind of every single petal, and you can do that of course, but I just kind of decided I didn't like it, and instead I decided to do kind of just one here, a couple there, three there, and did a few like that instead of all around. Then you also want to make sure that you like jam pack this thing full of petals. So in the spaces in between, you want to fill those in as well. Give it a really like full look, right? Yes. And then once you do that, you're gonna give it a stem, give it a leaf, you know, the kind of the basic flower stuff. Next we're gonna do some other floral things. These are like kind of like sticks, I guess, or the kind of dying kind of leaves that are on the ground, that kind of thing. It's kind, I don't know what to call this. It's just, I find anything that is like a stem or a twig with small leaves works. These we're gonna do as like thorns, so they do have a little leaf, but I just draw like two bowls, two circles. They don't have to be perfect, with little like bumps on them, and they're little thistles. Next, we're going to do some berries. I have a few ways that I like to do them. I start with, again, kind of like twigs. I give it a little leaf just to make it a little different. And then I put small berries on the ends of each of the little sticks. Next, we do one that's just essentially just twigs with more twigs coming off of it, and then berries at the end. I don't put any leaves on this one, so I just leave it kind of as is. I leaf it as is. Ha ha ha. Next is a different kind of berry set. This one could probably be used for winter as well. It's almost like a holly. I do like the bristles, and I just kind of cover it. I don't do it in any kind of like pretty way. I want it to look messy. So I just kind of go as fast as I can, whip that in really quick, and then I add the berries, and the berries are actually like bigger than what I normally would do. I do kind of just around it, just for that look. Next up are some mushrooms, and I think these are so cute. I did like a little grouping, and like they're all like buddies hanging out together. Of course, being a cute kawaii doodle channel, we needed to add Sam. We needed to add Sam. I don't know. I'm still sick, guys. We needed to add some cute faces to it. So we've got that going. It's a little party. I do love mushrooms. I could probably do a whole video just drawing doodle mushrooms. So if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments section below. I do another mushroom. This one is kind of like a little chonker, kind of like Mario Brothers, I guess you could think, kind of that style. I love doing this kind of a mushroom with the like little circles, the little spots, and then what I do a lot of times too is I'll like fill in the mushroom cap, which I almost forgot to do here. Next, we're getting into like foods. So we've got an aubergine here, or an eggplant, which is really cute. It's the only thing that I can draw. Well, it might be the only thing I can draw too. It's the only thing I can grow in my vegetable garden is what I was gonna say. Please do just remember I'm still quite ill. But yeah, so a cute little aubergine or eggplant, whatever you want to call it. Give it a little twig, a little leaf, and away we go. Next is corn, which I love to draw. I always like to make the leaves kind of look like it's like hugging it or like it's nestled into the leaves. I think that's really cute. For the corn, I just kind of make a little lumpy oblong shape, and I give it a cute little face. I give it little tufts off the top, and sometimes what I'll do is like some hatching, or I'll do like some squares kind of in like a little bit of a pattern just to kind of symbolize the little corn kernels. Next up is kind of the OG, like the symbol of autumn, I think, is the pumpkin. I'm turning mine into a jack-o'-lantern, but you don't need to. You can, this is the kind of thing where you could do with a jack-o'-lantern, without a jack-o'-lantern, doesn't really matter. I always kind of start on the inside and then I build out whenever I'm dealing with a gourd. Of course, I'm trying my best here. I did do some sketching below, but while filming, it was almost impossible for me to see it. So there's that. So I do my best. But yeah, essentially you're just going to give it a bigger kind of stem. You're going to give it a nice little leaf, and then you can do those little like curly cues, little vines along the side. Sometimes I'll even put them along the ground around it as well. Next up is just another gourd, because they kind of get missed, So I start with the pear shape, and then I trace around that just with a larger area. Give it a cute little face. You want to give it a stem that's not as big as a pumpkin, but definitely not like a smaller stem. You can also give this a cute little leaf. You can give it some little curlies, whatever you like. Of course, we've got to do the apple, and I actually do the apple a few ways. So you've got just the basic apple with the leaf. It's kind of like a peanut on the side shape. I don't know what you call that. It's kind of like a bean. An apple looks like a bean on the side. That's the way it looks when I draw it anyway. Next, we're going to do another apple, same kind of shape, but we actually are going to do it from like a cross section of the inside. So when I'm doing the line around the outside, that's kind of for the skin, but if I was doing this with color, I would have colored that. I wouldn't have bothered outlining it. And then you put the little seeds in. I gotta know, guys, how do you eat apples? Because I eat it core and all. And people usually find that weird. So let me know in the comment section below. How do you eat your apples? And then we just do a slice of apple. And next we're going to do a carrot. I'm not a fan of carrots. I like to draw them, but I don't like to eat them. So I didn't really make him all that happy. I projected my feelings onto this carrot. Next, I'm going to look at some leaves. So there's a few different shapes that you can do for leaves. I do all kinds. My favorite part about a leaf is that you can use the veins to kind of help you with an outline. So a lot of times I'll draw just kind of crazy out like veins, and the leaf comes out of that. So like I'm doing a maple leaf here as well, which can be hard for some people to draw, and it's hard for me. I always do the veins first, and then I follow along with it, and I just find that that's so much easier. And you can do all kinds of leaves, I did like a kind of a star pattern as well here, so that it's a little bit different. It's not something you normally see. Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know leaves. But that's what you can do. So, a leaf. Next up, something else that is in trees, an acorn. They're just cute. They're literally, like, they're wearing these little hats, and they're just adorable. I love acorns. I don't know what it is. But yeah, you want to do that. At the top, you're going to put their little hat on, their little, like, acorn beret, and then you're going to give it some crisscrosses. Alright. Now we're going to do some trees. So I have a few trees as well. So the first one we're going to do, you're just going to create the branches. That's kind of the real star of the show. You want to make them thick. Well, you don't have to make them thick, obviously. You can do what you want. But I like to make mine kind of thicker because they kind of contrast with the way you're going to do the leaves. So you're going to draw individual leaves, but you're going to make them bigger than obviously what would be on this tree. And you're just going to follow the outline of the branches to come up with this really kind of neat, kind of abstract, I guess, kind of effect. Either way, I think it looks really cool. And yeah, I think that's pretty fun. Another tree, this is similar to the leaf. We're just turning it on its side, making it bigger. So you're essentially going to draw the trunk, draw the branches, and then use the branches to outline what that tree would be. So instead of drawing the individual leaves, you're doing it as like a whole. And you're going to just follow along with whatever you've created. Add a little ground if you want as well. Finally, we're going to do a stump, which is just fun. I love stumps because you can put little characters on them as well. I always like giving them the little twig kind of sticking out the side. Every now and again I'll put a leaf on there. I did that with this one too, but I don't like it. But yeah, a stump. I love the stump because I think it is just a really great way to kind of incorporate even like a little character or something, because they could just be sitting there, right? Next up is some pie. So you're just gonna create an oval and then do a little ruffle around the bottom, and then for the tin you're just gonna do like a little rectangle. I always like to add just a little bit of texture by putting some lines in there as well. And then of course you want to make sure you put your cut lines in the pie, because I think that just makes it look so cute. And then I always add a little swirl at the top to show, hey, it's a hot pie, don't eat it, don't touch it. Next is a little takeout coffee that I think is adorable. If you do want like a more in-depth tutorial on how to make a takeout coffee, I don't know if it's on YouTube. I'll link it either way in the description, or I'll put a little card up here for you. I do have another tutorial that kind of walks you through a little bit better, but essentially you're just making a cylinder, a rectangle, and then putting a little hat on it, and I just think it's so cute. I don't know what it is about these, it just makes me think of hot apple cider, probably because that's the only time I ever have it. These are really cute. They're like little jam or preservatives. Oh my god. Jars. So this would be cute for like a pickle, would be fun, or jam. You can make this bigger and make it into a sticker and put it on your own like little jam jars. That would be super cute. Next up we have like a little coffee mug or a little coffee cup thing, I guess. I don't know. I think that's really cute. I do like to do designs on it, but this saucer was really kind of not having anything, and it just didn't like me, so I struggled, and I struggled hard with it. So then I was gonna put like a little ruffle on the top, and then I was like, no, you know what, I'm done with you. You made me mad. So just a little kind of design there. And of course I need to do the little swirl so that everybody knows this is hot coffee, don't touch. But yeah, if you're like me and you don't really drink coffee, I also did a little tea bag, which I thought was really cute. It's kind of like a 3/4 like side view, I guess, so you can see some of the tea out the side as well. And then you can put your cute little tag on it. I think I just did a heart because, you know, I'm lame. It's just I'm like a 13-year-old girl. I put hearts on everything. And then there you go. You got tea. Next up is like kind of just, I don't know, this is kind of vanilla autumn. Like, this is probably on everyone's list. It's candy corn. I know it's kind of like boring, but it is what it is. It's got to be there. Next up, some animals. We're going to do a spider because I just think that they're cute and they're very fallish. And I make my cute little spider and then I give it like evil death legs that are super sharp. I guess these are like Spider-Man legs. Like the Spider-Man legs. Anyway. Then we're going to do like a little bird. This I would say is not like a crow. It's more of like a bluebird. A cardinal maybe. Probably not. Even though they're kind of like sleek. This is like a little chubby bird. Like a chickadee. Something like that. It's definitely not like a crow or something like that. I do those kind of different. But I think it's a really cute little bird. And it's one of those things that you could add to like a spread or a Christmas card or something like that. And I think it'd be really cute. I always add little whooshes on the top, but you don't have to. Next up, I did a butterfly because for some reason I was thinking that was a fall themed thing. I don't know why, but I do. So there you go. Then I tried doing an owl. I wanted to do a different kind of owl than what I normally do. And what I normally do is quite cute, But I wanted to step out of my comfort zone, and I really did with this one because it kind of terrifies me, but it's also cute in a weird way. So I guess let me know below, do you think it's cute? Do you think it's creepy? I think it's a bit of both. I'm okay with that. I gave him the like tufts on the side of the head, I guess, for the ears, and really big eyes, which might be the reason why I find him creepy. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I give everything big eyes, so I don't know. But either way, I gave him his eyes, I gave him a beak, but then the beak kind of looked like a smiling mouth, so I got rid of that, and I added a different beak. I put some little like fluff on his belly, and then I gave it some feet, and we moved on to the fox because I was pretty sure at this point that owl was looking into my soul. So then the fox comes next, and I just did a fox head. I guess I probably could have done the whole body. I just didn't want to. I do have a fox tutorial, or I did have. I don't think I do. Actually, I think that was for something else. Never mind. Ignore me. That was for a commission book I did, I think. Anyway, I could do a fox tutorial, I guess. They're a little bit more in-depth whenever you get into an animal with that, like, I don't know. I never make them super cartoony, so I always make them, like, on 4 legs. So it's not like a bear, where a bear I always have kind of more cartoony, which is coming up next. But yeah, so I gave him like some big eyes because that's just the way I do, and I gave him some fluff around his face, and I thought, well, so when I did this part, actually, I will say at this part, I was like, I kind of was thinking it was a deer, like I was like confusing myself on what I was doing. So then I gave him more fluff, and I was like, no, he's a fox. There's a lot of fox in the world, right? Like, there's a lot of different kinds. So, I don't know which one I was trying to channel there. Next, I wanted to do a bear. But I wanted to do a small version of a cute bear that I've done before that's kind of like an oval shape. And I really struggled with this one. But essentially, you just make, like, a rounded square or rounded rectangle, I guess. I do have bear tutorials as well. I've done cuter bears. But it's an idea. You could draw a bear. I made this one, I guess kind of cartoony. Like, I don't know. He wasn't holding anything. I kind of felt like he should be holding something. But I didn't know what. So I left it as is. Maybe he's like chuckling with the fox. He's like, hey, did you see that owl over there? Pretty weird, huh? Anyway, yeah, so that's done. And then I did a snail because I definitely think snails are fall. They're also spring, though. Some of these things, they really cross over, but I feel like whenever I'm out in my garden, I feel like I see these like all the time in the fall. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. It would not surprise me. Anyway, next I did do some, I included some spookier stuff. So we've got a little ghosty here because even though I wasn't thinking of doing what I did, but even though ghosts are kind of like Halloween doodles, which I did do a Halloween doodle, I'll put the link there too. We have the Day of the Dead, right? November 1st. So I thought, it's still kind of part of that, which is also why I did 2 different skulls. Because it's still kind of like, it's still a fall doodle in my mind, especially for people who maybe don't celebrate Halloween, but do celebrate the Day of the Dead. Or they celebrate like Thanksgiving, where you're thanking, those who, like Veterans Day, I don't know wherever you are, there's so many different holidays, right? Like in Canada here, we have Remembrance Day, which is actually, while I'm filming this, while I'm doing the voiceover, it is Remembrance Day. So, those kind of things work too. I did the spider's web because I had a spider and I was like, why didn't I make it a web? I also just think they're cool. And you can take any section of those, like you can section that off and do half of it or a quarter of it, and I just think that's really fun. And then I remembered that I had the idea of doing the Day of the Dead, so I then included a rest in peace gravestone there, because apparently I get distracted by shiny things and I forgot that's what I was doing. I did a witch's hat because I think too it's also, I don't know, it's just like a fall kind of hat. Like when I think of a fall hat, I think it's a little witchy hat. Doesn't have to be a witch. Maybe that's just the way they are. Maybe they also just like spiders that hang from it. I don't know. You know, we don't know these things. Anyway, moving on. Let's go. I did a cute little scarecrow, which I thought it was cute. I did another bear. I was like, I've got to redeem my bear drawing capabilities here. So a scarecrow is super easy. I did the head is pretty much just a circle. The body is pretty much just like, rectangles and squares, because, you've got to remember there's the wood is in there kind of holding it stiff, so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And then I stick some like little pieces of straw outside of the cuffs, and then at the bottom where the stake is, I do the same thing. I don't know who this scarecrow would be scaring, but I think he's adorable. Next, of course, the moon. And I could have done a full moon, but it's a moon. I also did windy because it's been nothing but windy here, and I find that that's just a very autumn weather system. So 2 little weather things for you. And then either a flying carpet or a scarf, like what I was intending it to be. But as I'm watching it, I'm like, it kind of looks like a flying carpet. Yeah, a scarf, because we're getting into the cooler weather, right? Speaking of that, a little toque or a hat, whatever it is, wherever you are, it's a hat. I would call it a toque. So, here in Canada, it may be fall, but it gets cold, so you put on a toque. So I just love these kind of hats, like especially like the crocheted kind of hats. The other thing about fall is that it's also usually wet, because when it's not snowing, it's freezing rain or raining, and it's just cold. So an umbrella. And I was kind of going off of just my own experiences. And last but not least, my kind of comfort when it comes to the fall, I love to crochet. So I don't touch yarn all year long, like at all. Period, end. Unless somebody wants a gift or like something's happening, and then I will make something. But I love to pick up yarn in the fall. It's like the cozy time. It's when I start to do all of those kind of craft things that I don't do all summer long, because generally I'm doing other things in the summer, and I don't have the time. But that's it. I just thought coziness, right? I thought it was just kind of really, exactly, I don't know. Fall for me is just coziness. But if you enjoyed this, please do check out, I have Halloween doodles, I have alphabet doodles. You're welcome to catch up on that series as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much, and have a great day. Bye.